We march every single Friday. We are marching for Black liberation and indigenous sovereignty. This is a peaceful march. We are truly here for the community. We are truly here to educate, but most important of all, we are truly here to apply pressure to the government to let them know we will wait no longer for freedom. Sorry, I'm about to say some real stuff. I don't know if everybody ready for it. Over this past Wednesday, we had new people enter in the presidential office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And as happy as some people are that Trump is out of office, guess what? That means shit to Black and indigenous people, because under Biden, he had signed the 94 crime bill, and I'll keep saying the 94 crime bill because it put Black women, Black men in jail in chains that look like me, that look like George Floyd, that look like Breonna Taylor. We had Kamala Harris literally sign away to put in Black men in jail. And guess what? I don't care that there's a new establishment in office. Black people and indigenous people
shouldn't do right there.
I'd like to note that 90% of the crowd is not black. How about black now?
So, since we have a lot of people that are in the sidewalks, again, this is a Black Action Coalition march.
Did you hear what this stupid fuck just said to me?
Are we peaceful?
Piece of shit.
We are educational and we are marching for blacks and indigenous.
Did you hear him? Piece
black
of
liberation
shit.
and indigenous sovereignty.
He said, do you wonder how
You can always come and join us.
98% of the people.
Please do not film us.
He's an
We are
aggravator.
not
Basically,
here
he's
to
a
be on your
little bitch.
timeline or to be a scrapbook.
Basically.
Talking
I
about
think
your way
he's
and
the
your
same
way
guy
home
from
work.
last time.
We are the people. We are the community. Come stand with the people. Come and stand with the community.
He's talking shit, like always.
March
I
with
think
us.
he's the same guy as last time.
March with us.
March with us!
March with us.
March with us!
March with us.
March, he's an aggravator. I think he might be the same one from last week. I don't know. March, I don't know why they always come to me. Like, fuck off. Shut it down. Oh yeah, no, he's fine. Exactly. Prove it!
To the right! To the right! All the family to the right! To the right! All family to the right!
No, Jason. All cops are bastards. Black lives matter. Every day. Apologize. Apologize.
What'd you get hit?
Bye, Lisa. Yeah, fuck Lisa. Apologize. A-B-O-L-I-S-H-I-C-E. Apologize. Apologize. A-B-O-L-I-S-H-I-C-E. Apologize. Apologize. Facts. Black lives matter. Indigenous lives matter. Immigrant lives matter. Yes, puppy. On the streets. On the streets. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Bow to the people. Bow to the people.
Bow to the people!
Bow to the people.
Bow to the people!
Bow to the people. Bow to the people. Bow to the people. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power. No, it's not raining here. The power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, 'cause the power of the people don't stop.
All right.
Hell no, no rain. Yee. It would be horrible. It's really
Do you
cold.
remember why you're here? I know that you guys are kicking ass, really. I'm proud of you guys. But as we pass by our friends and our neighbors, we go through Belltown right now. And on every walk of our journey, we need to remember that what we're saying, we have to put into action. That we need equal opportunity to education, to healthcare, to basic human fucking necessities. That is a right of life. So, as we pass by literally our friends and neighbors on this block, I want you to remember that this is the walk that we take on the journey to creating a pluralist society. We're not going to keep asking people to assimilate to a fucked up, colonizing culture that literally leaves them out on the streets and tells them it's their fault. No, we're going to accept everyone. So,
Let's go! Let's go!
as we walk by, we see the destruction that capitalism is causing in our own neighborhood. I want you to think we're turning our eye to there are facets, like we have Amish communities, which is the thing, like we have separated societies. It's a norm of life, but it's not okay to push people so far out of society where there are no grocery stores, there's no room for basic necessities. Those are reservations. We are failing our folks, just like we're literally failing them as we take this walk through Belfast. I want you to remember that it's in every facet, not just your immediate eye. It's right outside. It's Eastern Washington. Remember, we still need to give those folks on the reservation equal access to food, water, education, healthcare. Our brothers and sisters that are passing us by, is to remember that it's almost been a year since George Floyd has been murdered and his family has gotten no type of justice. The fact that we had hundreds of thousands of people protesting all over the world, seeing a black man slaughtered with a knee on his neck. How many more videos have we seen with knees on neck since then? Because I know I've seen quite a few. And it wasn't even just a black man. I mean, they rode over Trumpet Man's head in a bike. I said, what the hell is that? How they gonna do that to Trumpet Man? The fact that we're gonna keep coming out here because our people continue to wait for freedom. They continue to go without. Our houseless continues to sleep on the streets. Our kids continue to go hungry. Our education continues to be subpar. And they're upset that we say defund the police, but they defund the health system. They defund the educational system every single day. And I just want to say also, too, that we're walking past so many nice buildings, and we get to see the nice part of Seattle, but coming from Seattle, growing up here, downtown didn't always look like this, family. It didn't always look like this because you have rich people like Amazon that comes in and they change the city and they continue to move people out. And each day, while it gets colder, we have more houseless on the streets sleeping. And we walk past them. And some of these MAGA supporters have the nerve to say, don't kneel during the national anthem, but yet they step over veterans every single day while they're on their way to
Rob, talk that shit.
At Starbucks. The fact that there are houseless kids sleeping underneath the bridges every single night. The fact that we have women nursing their children on the streets. How is that right? How is this America, the land of the free, right? Because guess what? It's not even our land. And it's Duwamish land. It's all of the tribes' land. It's all of our indigenous people's land. These white men have
gone.
generations of this land to show them, hey, a lot of us have messed up in
No
the past,
emotional vampires.
but today, we changed that. Going forward, we're caring about each other. We're loving at one another. And when we say, this is what community looks like, all of us come together, and this is what community looks like when we are fighting for our people.
Ah!
When we are simply fighting to be heard. The fact that the police continue to antagonize us and follow us on a peaceful protest. When we are using nothing but our words.
I forgot the police.
The fact that it was just MLK Day on Monday. And it's so cute that so many people love to pacify MLK. MLK was a troublemaker back then, just like we troublemakers. And guess what? He went into restaurants he wasn't supposed to go into. He went into businesses he wasn't supposed to go into to say, this is not right. Something must change, and it changes now. I don't want to have to tell my grandchildren when we got a little bit of something. I want to tell them I got everything for them. Because I put my life on the line. And we're going to continue to
Oh my
march.
God, that guy's
We're going to
still here.
continue to
I
say
swear he's
end
the
in
one from
truly
last time.
brutality. We're going to truly say, we're going to keep saying invest in the Black and Indigenous communities. We're going to say end qualified immunity because these
Oh, it's okay,
police
he's gone.
officers need to be charged for murders that they commit. Because they didn't commit any murders when we had white supremacists storm the Capitol. Where were the rubber bullets then? Where was the tear gas then?
Ah!
Where was the pepper spray then? Where were the dogs then? My people had dogs sick on them, water hose down. Where was that when white supremacists stormed the Capitol? And the fact that they'll get nothing but a slap on the wrist.
Ah!
And then you have liberals say, this is not the America that I know. That's exactly the America I know that was seen on that day.
Ah! Talk
They
that shit.
came with zip ties to take senators away. That means they were there to cause harm.
Facts.
And when we come to the streets, we come peacefully. And we come to say, fuck that. We want a new America. Because that America, fuck that shit.
Hi, Doug. Yeah,
I know a lot of us are probably tired. I know this is a long march. Are y'all still with me for what I'm
No
talking
emotional
about?
vampires tonight, bitches.
I know we're tired. I know we're cold. But if we come together, hey, maybe that'll, get us a little bit warm, right? We're running a little bit. But of course, it's social distancing. It's COVID. We got to make sure we social distance. But also we have to remember about why we came to this movement. Why did we come here when there was a chop? Why did we come to an EDM march? Why did we come to a morning march? Why did we come to a
Hi,
BIC/BAC
Serenity.
march?
Thank you.
Remember why you came. And the fact is you came to fight for basic human rights. Because what we're asking for is nothing out of the ordinary. It is nothing out of the ordinary to say we demand respect. We demand to be treated
Okay, this
fairly
guy's being
and
annoying. The
equally.
one that keeps
We
talking
demand
about
equity.
bye.
We demand compassion. And we need people to know that we are human beings every single day. And that's not just the Black people that you like. It's not just the Indigenous people that you like. And please send a message. Because the Black woman is talking, and we will send a message. Agitators will not deter us from our message at all. We will keep talking. Because, like the infamous Martin Luther King Jr. said, I may not make it to the top with y'all, but we all gonna be here together. And I'm just saying, I'm
I
putting a little
blocked.
trend
You know what? Anybody? I'm
So
not
please
doing
continue
shit today.
to stay a message. So
Somebody obviously shared our shit to a bunch of little racist pieces of shit, but that's okay. Not today. Not today, bitches. Sorry, guys.
When we get to our destination, please say it. This is an open forum. Just remember to be respectful, and also we have different ideologies and practices. But this is an open space, and I want everyone to
Thank you,
feel
Hamish.
comfortable and feel safe in this space because that means a lot to me.
Bring it in.
Let's bring it in this way, family. Let's take it this way.
Let's hope it'll work this time, eh? Black lives, they matter, yeah? Native lives, they matter, yeah? Black lives, they matter, yeah? Native lives, they matter, yeah?
All right, you guys, spread out this way. Spread out this way.
Immigrant lives, they matter, yeah?
Immigrant lives, they matter, yeah.
Migrant lives, they matter, yeah? Migrant lives, they matter, yeah? Black lives, they matter, yeah? Black lives, they matter, yeah? Native lives, they matter, yeah? Native lives, they matter,
All
yeah?
right, how do y'all feel? I know it was a little bit of a walk, but hey, you know, I've been in the house, like, you know, eating a lot, so it was exercise to me. Every single week we usually have a theme. This week we just put March with us because what we wanted to talk about as a group was pluralism, and we have Jackie, who I would love to invite up in just a moment to talk about what does that mean, but also too, the space in which we are is very significant because we're in front of one of the infamous members of the KKK, Cairo King Como, which is what we call them. And it's very important to notice every single destination that we pick in regards to where our destination is, because we pick these places for a reason. And as many of you know, media is very, very powerful. Just now, all of a sudden, Twitter is all for kicking Donald Trump off, and we're supposed to be happy about that. But it's a little 4 years too late. All right, it's 4 years way too late. Like, good try, boo, you cute. And then I don't know why Spotify and Pinterest jumped in. Like, girl, bye. It's actually interesting because one of our comrades gave us a statistic that once Trump was kicked off Twitter, I think misinformation, the spread of misinformation went down by 73%.
Jesus
73%, 73. If you know anything about percentages, 73 out of 100, I mean, that is pretty high. And being in Seattle, being a protester or somebody in the movement, an organizer, facilitator, however you want to call yourself if you've been here, I've been protesting since May 30th. The KKK have a very interesting depiction of what protesting looks like here and what the representation looks like for our people. I mean, we can talk about media representation. It crosses so many different forms, which is why I'll definitely allow a couple of speakers, not allow, I want a couple of speakers to come up here, because the representation of how they made it seem like the protesters were just so dangerous and angry. And I literally given an interview where the interviewer had the audacity to say, well, you know, the police officers are really sad by what you're saying. It hurts their feelings. Girl, feelings is one thing, but taking black lives is another. Taking indigenous lives is another. Okay? Taking the lives of our trans brothers and sisters is another, alright? And I'm really here for them. But even the way they depict black men that are killed the news, the fact that they will show their mugshot or say something slanderous they may have said on social media, they don't humanize them. The media has done a great job of depicting black people in a poor light and indigenous people in a poor light, literally for hundreds of years. I mean, the first makings of film, a little movie called King Kong, if you really look into what that was, a poor white woman that's defenseless and a big old gorilla, this big black angry gorilla comes to attack everybody but save this white woman, and that is like loosely interpreted as like a big black angry man. It's just the media represents black and indigenous people and poor. They have no regard for our humanity. And it was just nothing of just, I think, short of brilliance to Marklin and to say, fuck that. We are done letting y'all depict our stories to you, and you will hear from our crowds about what their stories are. Now, I doubt they'll come out to even try to talk to us, which is perfectly fine, because they'll edit however they want. They'll edit whatever it is that they want. But it's important to know that white supremacy is not just MAGA. Media is a part of white supremacy. The way that they put out stories and images of black and brown people, that's a part of white supremacy. The fact that they interview cops, but yet to interview protesters. When they literally say, when they were talking about us throwing water bottles way back in the day, allegedly, because I ain't throwing none at those people. But they're saying that throwing that water bottle and a cop fears for his life, but they can pull out a gun and future crystals while he's streaming, while they're streaming. Like, seriously, y'all? That is not right, and I say fuck that. We are done letting them decide what will go in the what is truly going on and not, hoodwinked by the news. So I'll let Jackie come up so Jackie can speak. So please give Jackie a very warm welcome, family. Thanks and all. Yeah, I don't want to do a lot of talking. Obviously, I play. But I did want to just say a few things. I want to get pluralism in your vocabularies. And I don't want to just bring it to you in a subtle sense, culturally, because pluralism is actually a philosophical ideal, and a lot of us are familiar, all of us, I know, are familiar with the term assimilation, and I want to get that out of your vocabularies, because assimilation is exactly asking you to adapt or to adopt the culture, the dominant culture. First, you've got to accept this as the dominant culture, and then you have to in turn change yourself to fit the definition of what they say is acceptable, and that's fucked up. We've got white supremacy here, and that's gotta go, as Trey just said, put it so perfectly. So again, we need to work towards building a pluralist society, and the ways in which you can do that, to be pluralist is to accept everyone. We say Native lives matter, Indigenous lives, Native lives matter, Black lives matter, trans lives matter. If you walk the walk, you speak those words, I really need you to adhere to pluralism. I really need you to stop asking people, stop accepting those dead-ass microaggressions, stop accepting that weak-ass workplace discrimination policy they got up at your job. Dead ass. I'm asking you to really work towards building a pluralist society with me. I'm doing it best I can. A few tips, few little things we can start to do just every day. Combat white supremacy. Stop accepting just stop accepting it. Work towards accepting all people in your job. Stop accepting the word of higher ups. Really write in your opinions. And what it looks like to be pluralist is to not the same in what I just said. Don't accept Howard Schultz as your CEO. This isn't Starbucks. That's gotta go. We need to have a team, and just as Trey is saying, that team, we two brown faces on that panel. You're really going to allow folks to represent themselves. No more of, I can't even say the word affirmative action. No more of that bullshit, all right? You're really going to allow people to speak and represent themselves. You're going to bring in voices, and you're going to allow them to be heard. You're going to bring in diverse voices. Culturally, again, you're just going to walk the walk that you were speaking with these chants, and you're really going to accept people, and if you don't understand their culture, you're just going to ask. And that's okay. And you're going to invite them to learn about yours, and we're going to stop exploiting people and stealing Black culture. Again, we're going to let people speak and represent themselves. So it's also about creating space for people that are unlike yourselves in your life. So if there's a holiday that you don't understand, it's okay for you to do the research. It's okay. I'm giving you permission right now. Just ask. So again, work towards pluralism. Throw out assimilation and just dive into it in your vocabularies. And it's not going away. You'll hear me say it in many marches, so Google it.
You're so sweet, Jason. It's okay.
All right, family, how y'all feel? All right, so we're gonna have the cars take us to our next destination because we're just gonna go to the space needle. Then we're gonna see the other member of the KKK, which is that Cairo, right? Cairo right there, or Como.
Como.
Sorry, y'all. Look, I smoke sometimes, I forget. All right, so everybody, let's come together right over here so we can get a little bit in the middle so our cars can come around. If my band wants to play with Jackie, y'all can lead us in a little funky little, like a little beat or something. Yep. Solid. We're gonna stop here for a minute. We're gonna let our band, lead us in a little bit of song because, Black people and Jewish people, we love rhythm. But, all right, to the right, or center. Let's come together, y'all. Please come to the middle. Our car's gonna come around. Yep. All right, Christina.
Sorry. Joke enough that your ass is here spending your time out of your day. That's the joke. Don't ask. She says it's a joke, but her ass is here. I think that's a joke. She's trying to talk shit, but she's taking time out of her important life, her quote-unquote important life, to see what we're doing. I'm trying to block her and I can't, so that. This is a march. Do I need to spell it out? Jesus. I can't block people. I'm trying. I need a new phone hella badly.
by Como. Right now our cars are getting information. I want to let them get information. We're waiting for the cars to get information. But while we have that, is there anyone that needs any water? Because we have water back here. If you need a water, please come and get a water. We don't want anybody to be parched.
Hey, Jen.
We are going to go to the totem pole in just a moment, but while we just were at Cairo, it's very important. I mean, while we're just at Como, we have to talk about Cairo as well too, because they are part of the
Thanks for the support.
Sorry if I mix them up. It's all these K's, and I don't like them anyways, because of how they depict our protesters, which I don't even like to say protesters. I'd like to say family, because families out here marching for what's right. The fact that they depict us in a poor light, the fact that they don't truly tell our stories, and like I said, enough is enough. It's very important to know where these buildings are, where these points of interest are, because you can do your work to do your job of telling your family and friends about what it is that you learned today. And you have the power to pass on the word, and you have the power to evoke change. Don't just rely on a quote-unquote leader or quote-unquote organizer. In the words of Katie, we are all organizers. It is all of our job to push for Black liberation and indigenous sovereignty. It is not your job to just show up because you know the time and the place that somebody else has set. Please do everything that you can do on your own. If there's a houseless person that you pass all the time, find out what it is that that person needs. Provide them that. If one of your family members or somebody in your community is struggling, find out ways that you can support and, empower them. Find out ways that you can volunteer and help people. Because I think the biggest thing that we have been lacking a lot of is true compassion. And I'm not here to preach because I have a long journey as well too. I'm not perfect, but I'm here and I'm standing and I'm here with y'all, and I want to let y'all know it is all of our jobs to talk about Black Lives Mattering. It is all of our jobs to talk about Indigenous lives mattering. It is not just the voices of the few, it's the voices of many to promote change. And it takes all of us, not just some of us, all of us to promote change and to really go after what true equality looks like and what justice looks like. And the police, I'm sorry y'all, them lights, look, and Cat Williams said in a comedy special, look, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something right. And the police, they love to follow Black Action Coalition. So obviously we doing something right because we are wasting their resources. We're wasting their resources and wasting their time. Because while they're following a peaceful protest that is truly here to talk about what is going on, they're wasting resources to where they could be solving crimes, they could be helping people in need. Also, the fact that the 2021 budget, they don't need all that money. That money needs to go to what? The Black and Indigenous communities. Alright, we'll have Colby come up and speak, and then we're going to head out to the next stop, and we'll have Paul speak. Y'all feel good?
I'm just going to be real quick. I just wanted to shout out my friend Danny. He's one of the organizers and for News Group I'm in. So he's in D.C. right now. He wants to hold Biden accountable. So that's his mission, actually. And he really, really needs help right now. He's kind of stranded, so if you guys help him out, I mean, that'd be really great. His Venmo is.
Take out your phones.
Yeah, please take out your phones if you can.
Please send him some phones. I sent him some earlier today. He really needs help. Y'all show him some
It's
love.
Danny.
Can someone type it?
Y-Leclaire, Leclaire-13.
Can someone please
Danny
type that in the
Leclaire,
comments?
Danny-Leclaire-13.
Because I can't type it for some reason. Someone please type that in the comments.
Spell it again, Colby, as loud
Yeah.
as you can.
Leclaire-13. Danny Leclaire. DANNY-Leclaire-13.
Thank you. Somebody please type that in the comments, please.
So yeah, that's all I have to say. So shout out to Danny. He's
Yeah.
Shout out to
Go Danny!
Biden needs to honor the treaties, and that's exactly what he wants to make sure he holds Biden accountable.
Thank you for doing that. Facts. Y'all send him some love, please.
All right, y'all,
really need
let's take
support.
it this way so we can go over here, right over here to the totem pole.
He spoke at my
And when
last
I
Ice
say
March
whose lives
too.
matter, I want you to say indigenous lives because our indigenous brothers and sisters need our help. So as loud as you possibly can, whose lives matter? Indigenous lives matter. Whose lives matter? Indigenous lives matter. My native life is under attack. What do you do? Stand up for that. My native life is under attack. What do you do? Stand up for that. When a native woman is under attack, what do you do? Stand up for that. When a native man is under attack, what do you do? Stand up for that. When a native two-spirit is under attack, what do you do? Stand up for that. When a native youth is under attack, what do you do? Stand up for that. All day, every day, all day, every day. All right, let's make some noise.
Hey Carrie, I know. Been a
So
long
we can
time.
start leading it over this way because we're going to go over to this totem pole. That's right here. It's very important for us all to know our points of interest and where our landmarks that are important to our BIPOC community are throughout Seattle. It's very important that we know. All right, family, you can come over this way. We're right by this totem pole right here, so come over this way, and I'll allow Paul to come up and grace us with his presence and his wisdom. Give it up for Paul, y'all.
That was a good walk, a good prayer, good medicine. I'm gonna have my brother here share a few words first. I'll see him.
Guapo Nation, Tikwatit Siaya, thank you to all my people. I'm Bibo Yahubkut, Teedsda, I'm CJ Jones, I'm from the Tulalip tribes. I'm Snohomish, Duwamish, Suquamish, and Squaxin. And I just want to thank all you people for being here and standing up. And I know that we won the presidency back as mindful people of this nation, but it kind of means nothing to us as indigenous and black people, because I think Bernie was the only one who really cared about the people.
Okay,
And I know people don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. The same Democratic and Republican things need to go away. They don't care about the people. They never have. They're part of the same corrupt system. They're never going to have our best interest as a minority in this country at heart, because they would never know it. Even Harris had one of the worst crime things in the world. She was putting more black people away than white people were.
okay.
Just want to get that out there. I would like to invite all you guys, fuck the police first. I've had
Fuck 12. My cousin Viola Harvey was killed by 9 police officers in Everett in 2001, and my cousin Cecil Jr. Lacey was killed in 2015 by the police. And his last words were, "I can't breathe, please get off my neck." Begged for his mother, and in 5 years, nothing has changed. In fact, this year alone, in 2020, they killed 1,000 of their own citizens. And it needs to stop, and I just want to thank all of you for being here to help stop this corruption.
All right, good words. We need to vote in the people who will do the work for us, because it hasn't happened to this point in time. It just hasn't. So we're here at John T. Williams Memorial, and these are our relatives right there in Cowichan, and right up in across the false border, what they call British Columbia. But British Columbia, you know, is not even a province. It's illegitimate. Let me educate you if you don't know. Most of the tribes in British Columbia have never marked a treaty with the Crown. So all of those nations are being colonized right now as we speak. They're being colonized in this very moment as they work to build those pipelines across their sovereign land that they never gave anything to that government. So if you think about that entire province, which is very large, do some education to other people. Use a few more words. It's a mouthful, but it is an illegitimate province. It has no right to that land, and the only tribes that did mark a treaty, I'm saddened that our tribe did, and we're on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. But we were tricked into it. We were tricked into signing and marking that treaty. So know that that place is sovereign. Know that those people have the right to do what they want with their water and their land and their natural animals. Know that. I'll let you know the only reason why we got tricked into signing that treaty is because the Douglas Party was bulk destroying our ancient forest. They're wholesale murdering our ancient forest, which is our general store. And when they did that, we tried to reason with them. They would not stop because of their white male patriarchy, their racism. And when they wouldn't stop, we counseled. And the last voice spoken in the council is always a group of elder women. And they fight fiercely for life. They fight fiercely for the circle of life, to give life from their body. So when they say no, they mean it. When they say yes, they mean it. And they knew that if we didn't paint our faces black and fight to the death to save that ancient forest, guess who would be next? We knew that we would be next. Our culture, our ways, the food that we depend on and the medicines, they would be next. So I'm proud of our people. We fought to the death for what we believe in, for who we are. For who we are. And we need to know who we are today. We need to know who we are today. And I look at all of you, people from different places, and I feel that you're learning who you are. Because when you stand here today, and you support Black lives, you support Indigenous lives, it shows your color of your heart, of your spirit, of your strength and your wisdom. It's not easy. It's not an easy job to stand up over and over and over. And I know a lot of people that have. I know that we have. And there's a lot of organizations that continue to stand up and fight for what's right. Fight for a future. Fight so they don't kill us anymore. Because that's what they're doing. They're killing us. They are killing us with pipelines. They're killing us with man camps. They're killing us with the pollution that goes into our water, because our first peoples, our indigenous peoples, are the first ones to die, because we still eat the food from the land. We still drink the water that flows from Mother Earth that gets polluted by fracking and tar sands. So we know what it means to have these governments destroy us and only wish to destroy us. I'll share with you one quick thing. We need to know our enemy.
Yes.
We need to know our enemy.
Facts.
We need to know them intimately.
Yep.
We need to know exactly what lives in their heart and makes them do what they do.
That's right.
And so, I'll share with you this one bit of information that is very real to our people.
You're welcome, Jason.
Because if we're going to talk about people that died, we're missing 100 million people. Where are the natives?
Facts.
Where are they?
Facts.
When do you see them?
Facts.
Do you go to the store and you see some Indians there?
No.
No. Because they nearly annihilated us with the blackness in their heart and their greed to take our land and water
Facts.
and destroy everything that we've ever loved. And that's some hard shit to swallow every day. So we need to fight to stop this bullshit.
Yes.
Fucking governments that want to kill us.
Facts.
They need to change. Their system
Facts.
isn't broken, it's working perfectly.
Facts.
It's working perfectly.
Facts.
Doing everything that it was ever designed to do.
Facts.
And it put us where we're at today.
Facts.
But we are rich people.
Facts.
We have teachings in our hearts, and they have failed. They
Facts.
have failed. They might have killed one of our brothers, but like John Trudell says, sometimes they have to kill us. Sometimes they have to kill us. And that's the truth. We have to be strong, and we have to know that we are going to create a world of equity, of peace, harmony, and balance as we had it here
Yeah.
before contact. We can do it.
Yes.
We can do that.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
wanted to let you know that my mom still cries today about the 4 brothers that they killed in the residential school on Cooper Island. They abused them to death. She witnessed their stories firsthand. She pulled up on the shores of that island with her father, who built little fishing boats, put Model T engines in them, because they burned all of our canoes and said, you won't live this way anymore. You won't go get those salmon. You'll be like us. You will learn to take and destroy and only think about yourself. So my mom pulled up on the shore, and those boys ran up crying, testified the enormous, unbelievable, and I won't tell you how terrible it was because it's almost unrepeatable. The abuse that they gave them, those priests gave them in all forms and all ways that you could imagine. These kids suffered from it. They did it all. They suffocated babies, impregnated my auntie, And they taught them how to kill their own babies so there would be no evidence.
Jesus.
These are all real stories of the governments who lead us today. And so, I wanted to let you know that. I wanted to let you know that that's the kind of heart that still lives in there. We have to change, and it's changing. As we get black and indigenous leaders and women of color and women who are indigenous and black inside of these government positions, we have a fighting chance.
Yes.
We have a fighting chance to return to something good. Because certainly right now, what they have created needs a whole lot of change. Because you could take our world of respect, of elders raising children, not parents, and a sharing, gifting, potlatching society who honored the cedar trees and never killed one of the ancients. We would be in a forest right now, my family. We would be in an ancient forest with the most beautiful sounds,
Yes.
and the most beautiful sights, and the most beautiful smells.
Facts.
You would be in paradise right now
Facts.
if it wasn't
Yes.
for this backwards way. So we need to know that they still possess this darkness, and we have to bleed this out. We have to weed
Yes.
out that darkness from their government, both of them, Canada, US, so that we can be free again. The way that we will become free is when the ancient forests are returned. There's lots of green space in the Salish Sea.
Facts.
There's lots of green space in the Salish Sea. We can do it.
Yes.
That's what our organization does, Protectors of the Salish Sea. So
Oh,
go ahead and
yes.
look up our org and check it out.
Oh, I
We've
didn't know that's
occupied the
awesome.
Olympia
Yay!
State Capitol 3 times.
Yes.
We told them that you will not murder our salmon anymore with your colonial ways. You're
Facts.
not going to do it anymore. So we fought, and we'll fight again. We'll be back there. And we ask you to help us. We need all the help that we can get to change these things that need changing so that we can be free. When the salmon return to the rivers and the forests are returned, we can be free because we won't need a corporation. All we'll need is Mother Earth's breath and food.
Yes.
That's all we'll need. So, it's a big vision, but we can do it if we pull together as one, like Sitting Bull told us.
Put up
your fist.
Put up your fist.
If you hold your hand like this, Sitting Bull said each one of these fingers is easily broken. You can easily break one of these. But he said if you do this, create a fist in unity, this is unstoppable. We have to become unstoppable as one family, one human family today, with all of the different cultures rising up and shining, all the different colors. But we need to become one human family and destroy the
Protectors of the
darkness that
Salish
lives in
Sea.
these
They have a
governments.
Facebook
End
page.
that darkness. Move into light, prosperity, to wellness, peace, harmony, and justice, and equity for all living beings. All living beings, human, plant, animal, water, all of it. Osiyam Haishka. I am Chioktan. I'm from Krasanich, southern tip of Vancouver Island. I'm proud to be Coast Salish. I'm proud to be part of all these tribes because I come from a chieftain family who intermarried with every tribe. So I'm part of all these different nations. And it's an honor to be here on the Duwamish people's territory. Duwabsh. Osiyam. Thanking you, Duwamish people, in their language. Thank you.
Thank you. People are being agitators over here. need to start bringing gloves. I keep forgetting gloves.
I can't thank y'all enough. So please, I know I say give it up for yourself, but we are truly here to make noise. This is a disruption. This is a protest. To Paul sharing just a little bit of life for what his mother went through and their family. Do y'all know that I forgot the exact year that the U.S. no longer can import slaves to America? I forgot the exact year, but there was a ban to the right, to the right, to the right, all family to the right. There was a ban on importing slaves from Africa. There was a ban on importing slaves from the West Indies. But that did not stop white colonizers for continuing to breed slaves. Do you know that in Maryland, there were breeding farms? They treated black people like cattle. Literally, black men. It didn't matter if there was their mother, their grandmother, their aunt, their sister. They were forced to procreate because the white man said, no, we can't import slaves no more, so continue to procreate so that we can have currency. The first form of currency was black and indigenous people. That was the first form of currency. And you know what? That's not right. And that's why it's important, like Paul said, to know our enemies, to know how black their heart is, to know of the true atrocities that black and indigenous people have gone through every single day for over 500 years.
My phone's about to die, and I don't have a charger port or a charger cord because I've been living out of a hotel for like over a week, and my life's just a shit show. So fuck. I was hoping it wouldn't die.
It's important to know the ways of our enemies because guess what? Like I said, America was founded on a protest. The American Revolution was what? A protest. So why is it that white men can protest and get their way, but black and indigenous people can continue to suffer? America taught black and indigenous people how to protest. Y'all taught this generation because you laid out the foundation in history class. All you need to do was cause property damage was what? The Boston Tea Party. That was property damage. That wasn't patriotism.
No one else
That was
is
property
streaming
damage.
right now. That's the thing.
That was terrorism. What they were doing was committing treason, right?
When she's done talking,
But
I'll
they
see if
talk about
anybody
us.
has a charge report.
And you know what I say? Fuck that. Because guess what? When there's no justice, there will never be no police. As long as there is racist police. So when I say no justice, no peace, I'm
Thank
saying
you,
no
Chris.
racist police, and y'all follow me.
I realized I didn't have anything. No, I realized I didn't have it, and I was already on my way, and I was already running late.
No racist! No justice! No racist! No justice! No racist!
Let's just hope and pray that it'll make it till we get back to our starting point. Shut it down.
If we don't get it! If we don't get it!
Shut it down. Trey might let me stream from her phone though. Like if my phone dies, I bet you Trey will let me use her phone. So yeah, okay, even if my phone does die, I think Trey will probably let me stream from her phone, so don't worry. I'll still stream. I'll still stream.
No cops! No prison! Total abolition! 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 Cause we have the power!
We have the power.
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 We don't get it!
Shut it down.
If we don't get it!
Shut it down.
No justice!
No peace.
No
Racist police. No justice. No peace. No racist police. No justice. Peace.
No racist!
Police.
And we don't get it!
Shut it down.
If we don't get it!
Shut it down.
If we don't get it!
Shut it down.
If we don't get it!
Shut it down.
All day!
Every day.
All day!
Every day.
All day!
Every day.
All day!
Every day.
All right! I feel good. Y'all feel good?
I sure will. Thank you. You're so sweet, Kelly.
How many of y'all know what How many of y'all know what COINTELPRO is? COINTEL.
Thank you, Chris. You're so sweet.
COINTELPRO is a program that FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover built to dismantle Black America and the indigenous people. COINTELPRO is when the FBI records your conversations, send false letters and statements to cause tension between comrades. They turn people within the community on each other, or put people in the community to form and cause tension to decap and dismantle it from within. Examples of how they used it. The FBI turned Fred Hampton's head of security, William O'Neill, into an informant, and he eventually gave the government Fred's apartment blueprints on December 4th, 1969. The police kicked down his door and killed him while he was sleeping in bed with his 8-month pregnant wife. They spied on MLK and recorded his conversations and sent stuff to his wife to attempt to cause damage in his marriage and personal life. They sent him letters telling him to kill himself or they'll leak it to the press. What else
they did. They also planted rumors and spies in the Nation of Islam to cause tension between Malcolm X and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which eventually led to his death. And all this information has came out from the FBI, and they still have not been held accountable for their actions. They have admitted to killing our leaders, slowing our progress, and poisoning our communities. And yet they have not been held accountable. They get to just say my bad and continue doing the same old, same old. But COINTELPRO is what I feel like that's been going on a lot in our movement. I see a lot of problems that can be fixed behind closed doors and doesn't need a public platform. And I also don't feel like putting things on social media is not keeping it transparent with the community. Because when you do stuff on social media, we allow our enemies to see our problems. Like I said, when we do stuff on social media, we allow our enemies to see our dissension, our infighting, and to laugh at us. When we also do stuff on social media, it causes tension within the camps because it causes our community to pick sides. But then also it deters people from joining our movement because they don't think we're serious, and we are.
Sorry.
And it causes people that want to join our community to, not join because they think we're a joke. They think we're a shit show. We're not fighting for what we fight. We're too busy saying you did this, you did that on a highly public platform. And I have ideas for accountability in the community. Stuff needs to be brought to the community. We can make a Zoom call. Whoever wants to join can join it, but you gotta be vetted. Somebody gotta know you've been out here. It's enough of airing our dirty laundry in front of the world to see. Shoot, the KKK, when I mean KKK, Cairo, King, Como, they all follow our pages, so they're seeing all this.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, bringing stuff on social media is not accountability. All it does is cause more drama, tension, and fighting, especially if the people that wronged each other don't want to talk it out. That's all I got for now.
Thank you, Chris. Oh shit, my phone's about to die. Let me talk to Trey. Hold on.
I also wanted to try something new this week.
Hey Trey. Hey, my phone's about to die and I don't have a charger cord.
I want to read a speech from a prominent leader from the civil rights movement.
Oh, you don't have a charger cord? It's okay. It's fine if you don't. Are you sure? Okay.
The speech is called Power Anywhere There's People. The speech by Fred Hampton in 1959.
Okay, it's okay. Sorry, you guys. My phone's about to die. I'm going to have to end the stream. I'm sorry.
Power anywhere where there's people.
No.
Power anywhere where there's people. Let me give you an example of teaching people. Basically, the way they learn is observation and participation. A lot of us go around and joke ourselves and believe that the masses have PhDs, but that's not true. And even if they did, it wouldn't make any difference. Because with some things, you have to learn by... Because with some things, you have to learn by seeing it or either participating in it. And you know yourself, there are people walking around your community today that have all types of degrees that should be at this meeting, but they are not here, right? Because you can have as many degrees as a thermometer. If you don't have the practice, you can't walk across the street and chew gum at the same time.
A charger cord and stuff.
Let me tell you how Huey P. Newton, the leader, the organizer, the founder, the main man of the Black Panther Party went about it. The community had a problem out there in California. There was an intersection, a four-way intersection. A lot of people were getting killed, cars running over them. And so the people went down and readdressed their grievances to the government. You've done it before. I know the people in the community have, and they came back and the pig said no, you can't have any. Or they don't usually say, that can't have it. They've gotten a little hipper than that now. That's what those degrees on the denominator will get you. They tell you, okay, we'll deal with it. Why don't you come back next meeting and waste some time? And they get you wound up in an excursion of fertility, and you'll be in a cycle of insaneness. And you'll be going back and going back and going back and going back so many times that you're already crazy. So they tell you, they say, okay, niggers, what you want? And then you jump up and you say, well, it's been so long, we don't know what we want. And then you walk out of the meeting and they're gone and they say, well, you guys had your chance, didn't you? Let me tell you what Huey P.